This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm very pleased to be speaking with Phil Rosenthal about Somebody Feed Phil. How are you, Phil?
Very nice. How are you?
Good, good. We were just talking a minute ago about lunch, which we'll both have after this, I hope. What are you eating today? That's my first question.
Today we're ordering in from Langer's, probably the best deli in Los Angeles, and I'm gonna say the best pastrami sandwich in the world, the number
Well,
19, which I will put up against any pastrami sandwich. I think it's even better than Katz's Deli in New York, which was my standing favorite until I had this one, mainly because of the bread.
what's the thing with the bread? What's the story there?
It's twice baked rye, which means the crust is a very light, crispy crust, and the inside, the bread itself, is very soft. And I have to say, the bread at Katz's is what we in the business call a shanda.
But I'm not much of a crispy crust kind of person, but I think that you're the right person to take recommendations from.
Because you don't want a tough crust, right? Okay, so this is not tough. It's lightly crispy, like almost like thin glass. It's a thing of beauty, Abe. You
Oh,
have to have it.
all right.
But we
Well,
do our we do our podcast right here at this table, Naked Lunch with David Wild and me, and we have wonderful guests. And the best part is we eat lunch every podcast. It's fantastic. It's a way to
I like
combine
that.
two of my favorite things: eating and talking.
Well, would you say that you put as much thought and passion into every meal as what you just exhibited about this pastrami sandwich?
Yes, I do. Yes, I mean, you've seen the show. It's
Of
who
course.
I am. I love it.
Yeah.
The thing I love most about it, besides food being, one of the great pleasures in life, is the way it brings people together. That's the
Yeah.
best
Well,
part. It's the great
well,
connector. I always say food is the great connector, and then laughs are the cement.
I like that. Let's talk a little bit about season seven and some of the places you explored. Was there anywhere you knew that you wanted to really get to in this season?
I was thrilled to get to India finally in my life. I've never been. I was almost afraid to go because many people had told me that they got sick, and I was scared because I'm not quite the adventurer. And I found a way to really do my due diligence and have the crew do their due diligence. And we only went to places that use bottled water, which I suggest, even the street food. You brush your teeth in bottled water, you rinse your toothbrush in bottled water, everything. And then they gave me this extra little tip. You take a Pepto Bismol in the morning as a preventative. Now that's not going to protect you from, major illness, but it does coat the stomach and gets you maybe past the little things, right? So I didn't get sick one day there. I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad because I love Indian culture, people, and the food. I think I have Indian food once a week here in LA, and I've always loved it. And so I was thrilled to go to Mumbai. It's absolutely fascinating, and I can't wait to go back now and explore the other parts of India.
You feel like you have a different sort of passion and excitement for faraway international destinations as compared with somewhere like DC or Orlando, that's obviously a lot more local and familiar, just even with the language.
I have to tell you, everywhere we go is wonderful because first of all, I think you can get a great meal anywhere in the world now. I believe that the internet has made the world flat, as they say, meaning it's a level playing field. It's a chef in Iowa can see what a chef in Paris is doing and emulate it and learn from it and use local ingredients and make something very special. So there's no snobbery as far as I'm concerned as to where we go. Orlando was a giant surprise, and I was skeptical of the food scene there because I was told, "Oh, we have a world food scene." I'm like, "What, Epcot?" And then I got there, and the lesson there is, yeah, Disney's been there 50 years. In those 50 years, they've employed tens of thousands of immigrants, and they've all brought their cultures and cuisines with them over 50 years and built up these neighborhoods. And I think I've been there 3 times this year for various functions, and I've had some of the great dinners of my life in Orlando because the ethnic food scene is phenomenal. I just had a phenomenal Filipino meal. The Filipino ice cream scene is unbelievable at a place called Sampa Gita. There's incredible Puerto Rican food where I had porchetta that was better than anything I had in Italy, porchetta wise. It's absolutely spectacular. I recommend it. You can have a world-class vacation in Orlando without setting foot in the Disney parks.
I
Yeah,
like that. I like that.
it's great. So there's these revelations to be had all over the world, and that's why doing what I do is such a joy. I'm never disappointed.
Are there any places that immediately spring to mind that you know you want to have next on your list that you haven't been to yet for food?
Well, I haven't been to Australia on the show. That's a giant continent that is waiting. I haven't been to Greece yet in my life. I know it's surprising, but I've never been there. Uh, I've never been to San Sebastian in Spain, which is one of the food capitals of the world. How dare me call myself a food guy and not have been there, right? There's huge parts. I haven't been to mainland China. I've been to Hong Kong, but I haven't been to, the rest of China. I'd love to see Shanghai, for example. Uh, I'd love to see Soviet Georgia, I hear is gorgeous and would love to go there. I'd love to go to I mean, listen, I've only been to 41 places on Somebody Feed Phil. There's 197 countries. So there's still, it's a big world. Somebody's got to eat it.
I would definitely consider myself someone who really likes food, but I'm also someone
Yes.
with a lot of particularities and things I don't
Yes.
like. How do you think I should be approaching, the international food scene with my hesitations so that I can truly enjoy it?
Listen, you're talking to one of the most hesitant people. The way I sold the show was I'm exactly like Anthony Bourdain if he was afraid of everything. Right. So I was hesitant too. But our greatest fear is the unknown. We're afraid of what we don't know. Once you start doing things, things become known. And then things become less scary. And for instance, I had to eat an ant in Tokyo 10 years ago. That was the first, big step out of my comfort zone. And it took all the courage I could muster to put that thing in my mouth. But then when I bit down on it, they told me it's going to taste like lemon. And sure enough, it did. And it was fantastic. Now, do I go looking for bugs on every menu? No, no. I'm still squeamish of all that. But I'm so glad I tried this thing. It was absolutely fascinating. And it didn't kill me, obviously. Here's the other thing you should know, Abe. As we get older, our taste buds on our tongue literally change. So something that you may not have liked even a few years ago, you could like now. So
Yeah.
my whole thing, and I wrote a book with my daughter about this, a children's book called Just Try It. It's my philosophy of life. Just try it. You're not 5 years old anymore. The worst thing that happens is, yeah, I still don't like it, or I don't like it, right? But you also know what you're missing. So you may hit upon something that becomes your new favorite thing. And you're so happy that you discovered this, right? Everything you love right now, every food that you love, you had to try at some point. So that
I like
next that next love of your life is waiting for you.
I like that though. I'm now, nervous to show this interview to people close to me in my life because they're going to say, "See, Phil says you have to try it,"
Phil
and so I
does
have
say
to
you
see
have to
how
try it. That's right.
how
I'm saying
committed.
you have to try. What's the thing? What's the thing that you don't want to try?
There's a lot of stuff. I don't eat salad dressing, a lot of other things, but
You've never
that's
had a salad dressing that you like.
no, no. I don't mind like olive oil and salt and pepper, but
Yeah,
just the acidic and the balsamic and all that. Just not
I don't want that.
something about it that's me wrong. But I like salad a lot. I like the crunch. I like that kind of thing. It just doesn't.
That's very interesting. You know what I have to say? You don't have to try more than if you don't want. I mean, I might say to you, there's a salad dressing out there that you haven't gotten to yet that you might like. But as long as you're eating the salad, I have to say that's the part that people really shy away from. They dump salad dressing on their salad mainly because they don't want salad. So they cover it in fat and sugar to disguise the taste of salad. But if you already like salad, I'm not going to give you any more notes. You're doing well, Abe.
Well, this is the part of the interview I'm going to make sure to show to everyone and say you can go back and watch the part earlier, but this is the real important one. So
I like
thank
my
you.
salad dry, says you're the only person I've ever heard who says
All right.
that.
Well, listen, I've enjoyed watching your stuff for a lot of years. I think Everybody Loves Raymond is a really fun show.
Thank you.
There's not enough time to talk too much about it, but how do you feel the TV landscape has changed, just from when that was there to now?
There's wonderful things going on and there's terrible things. It's always the same. There's never been a golden age. We think there was, but there's always been most things are terrible, right? And it just feels more terrible now because there's more things. I bet if we analyzed proportionally, it'd be the exact same percentage of good. Listen, if everything was good, nothing would be good, right? So the stuff that stands out and always has is the good. Is the good. Most entertainment is okay to not so good. And the stuff that we love is the great stuff that's elevated above it. There's wonderful. I mean, I'm watching shows now. What did I watch? Ripley, gorgeous show, right? Absolutely gorgeous. The Bear is so good. Can't wait for the new season. There's so many. What did I just watch? The Gentleman is very entertaining. There's wonderful comedy specials. There's a beautiful special from Alex Edelman, who's winning a Tony Award on Broadway. That show is a must see. There's fantastic stuff. Listen, to me, the movie business is in real trouble when even the big budget things are bombing at the box office because I think COVID got people used to watching at home. I dare say that somebody Feed Phil benefited from COVID. My joke is, you know who started COVID? Netflix. Who had the most to gain? Follow the money, Abe. Follow the money. But there's always going to be. I could. There's an argument to be made that this is a golden age of episodic dramas, right? Has there ever been a better show than Succession or Breaking Bad? Or that was a few years ago now. But Succession is just this past year, wasn't it? Last year. There's phenomenal stuff. The Hotel. What's it?
White Lotus.
White Lotus. Oh my God. Couldn't wait to watch every episode of that. So that, I mean, in a way, the entertainment has never been better in certain ways. And in certain ways, not. Like sitcoms, for instance. We're now in a fallow period of sitcoms. But someone will come along and make something that people like again, and then they'll be back. And the whole business will say, hey, run over here. This is where the hit is now.
Well, it's really a lot of fun talking to you, Phil, and I'm excited to take away lots of good things from this, especially that I should try a lot of things, but I don't need to try new salad dressings.
That's right. You got a pass from me.
Well, thank you so much, Phil. Enjoy your lunch, and I look forward to talking again sometime soon.
Thanks, Abe. Me too.